Okay. wytworzony go wyłączyć łopatą.
Welcome to Monkey Jungle's Wild Monkey Swimming Pool. My name is Chelsea, and at this time I'm going to go ahead and ring this triangle to let the monkeys know that I will be tossing fruit for them. Just to let you know, the reason that we ring the bell is because we have about 140 of these monkeys, and they are all spread out over 7 acres. These monkeys are not tamed or trained in any way. We have no control over who shows up. So just give me a second to ring the bell, and I'll see if any monkeys want to come and eat. Well, the kind of monkeys that you see in front of you is what we call a Java macaque, or a crab-eating macaque. The first name they get, Java macaque, is given to them because of where they originate, which is an island in Southeast Asia known as the island of Java. The second name they get, crab-eating macaque, is given to them due to the fact that in the wild, their natural diet includes crabs and shrimp. One other interesting fact about these monkeys is that they swim. Now, although all monkeys are able to swim, few monkeys actually seem to enjoy it the way these guys do. But, since shrimp and crab are frequently found in the water, Javas in the wild never swim to get their food. But in this group, it's usually the juveniles who do most of the swimming because they enjoy playing in the water. The older macaques are either too lazy to work for their food or they just don't want to get wet. Well, these macaques were brought here in 1933 by Joseph Duman. He wanted to study primate behavior here in a semi-natural environment, rather than having to travel to work in Southeast Asia. So, he imported 6 of these macaques from their native environment. As I mentioned earlier, we have about 140 of these dogs within a 7-acre compound, and all of them are the descendants of the original 6, which were released here more than 70 years ago. And what Joseph wanted to study specifically was the social structure of the Java macaques. It is based on what is called the dominance hierarchy, or a pecking order. What that means is that there is a monkey number 1, and he is the leader and most dominant animal in the group. And under monkey number 1 is a monkey number 2, and under monkey number 2 is the less dominant but still important monkey number 3, and so on. In this group, Casper is the number 1 monkey, and he is the leader alpha male. And Casper is the one sitting right over there at the end of the log eating. That one's Casper. Well, as leader, Casper has certain responsibilities to the group. It is his job to maintain the ranking system and social order within the group. This means that there is a fight that escalates to a very serious level. It is his job to break it up or end it. Also, if there is a lower ranking animal that steps out of line, it is his job to put him back in line. He also leads a troop against any outside aggressors, which could be monkeys from other groups as well as predators. Being leader also has its reward. As leader, you get the first choice of food, the first choice of place to sleep, sit, and walk, and the first choice of females. Now frequently people ask me, how does a monkey get its rank, and why is Casper the leader? Well, there are 2 main factors involved. One is their maternal association, or who their mother is. What that means is that if they're the offspring of a high-ranking female, then they're going to be a high-ranking monkey. And if they're the offspring of a low-ranking female, then they're going to be a low-ranking monkey. The second factor that determines their rank are their political alliances, who their friends are, and how many they have. Now their rank can change in one of 2 ways. First, when males are young, they're roughhoused to wrestle around, similar to how many children do. And this is when they make or break most of their friendships. But as males get older, if they want more access to food or females, they'll have to earn that privilege, either by winning the respect of higher troop members or by fighting for it. This is where their friends come in. If you are a lower ranking male, and you could somehow manage to defeat a higher ranking male, you can move up in rank. You can defeat another male by having the most of the following 3 qualities. You have to have great physical strength, you have to have the support of male troop members, and you need to have the acceptance of the females. When a male moves up in rank, you commonly see the social status of his mother improve as well. And the offspring that she has from that point on will also be of that higher rank. But any offspring that she had before she moved up in rank will remain whatever status they were initially born into. The second way that their rank could change is if another male ever overthrows their alpha male. They will then have to assume a subordinate position, not only to the new male, but also to any monkeys he brings with him. Now frequently, you can see the Javas doing a behavior called grooming. And what they're actually looking for are not parasites such as fleas and ticks. However, if they do find a parasite, they'll gladly pick it off and eat it. But in general, they're very clean animals and almost free of ectoparasites. And what they're actually looking for are tiny little particles of dandruff. When these monkeys perspire, salt from their sweat is absorbed into the dandruff particles, and it serves as a salty little snack for them. More importantly though, grooming strengthens the bonds between these animals. The lifespan of a Java macaque is 20 to 25 years, with males maturing between the ages of 5 and 8, and females much earlier between the ages of 3 and 5. And once mature, a female may have 6 to 8 infants throughout her lifetime. Now the females give birth to only 1 infant, usually during the months of May through September, after a gestation period of about 6 months. The newborns are easily recognized because of their black fur and pink skin, and this coloring is called the natal coat, and has special significance in the dominance hierarchy. Newborn offspring and their mothers are the most privileged and protected members within the group. This means that at this time, they're an exception to the ranking system. As long as a mother carries a baby with the natal coat, she'll be allowed to sit, socialize, groom, and feed with the higher-ranking females. This allows low-ranking females the access to better foods at a time when nutrition is essential. After about 6 months of age, you will see a complete disappearance of the natal coat, which has gradually disappeared after birth. As soon as the other members of the troop detect the change in the infant's coat color, both mother and infant will lose their special status, and the infant will assume the social status of the mother. Java infants will nurse for up to about 9 months. However, after the mother loses the special feeding privileges, she will wean her baby onto more solid foods, such as fruits and bugs. Well, this concludes the presentation here at the Wild Monkey Swimming Pool. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, well, before you go, I'd like to caution you. Because all of the animals here in Monkey Jungle are wild, whenever you are feeding them, please keep in mind that they have large sharp teeth and can bite. Please make sure that you only feed them through the cups and tubes provided. If there are no cups or tubes, please do not feed them through the wire mesh. These signs around the park refer to all the animals here in Monkey Jungle, and not just the ones immediately near the signs. We also ask that you please do not try to pet these monkeys, or lean while they're waiting next to the swimming pool area, because there's an electrical wire at the bottom. This is not just for your safety, but also for theirs. And finally, if you see any wildlife in the trails, whether they're snakes, frogs, turtles, birds, squirrels, or lizards, please leave them alone and do not touch them. They'll go right on by you. If you have any additional questions about any of these animals, my name is Chelsea and I'd be happy to answer them for you. The next show will be the orangutan show at 10:45. And immediately following that presentation, the keeper will take you back into a presentation with our male western lowland gorilla. I'd like to take this chance to thank you all for coming out today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here in Monkey Jungle.
Wow, it's still there. Amazing. 왜 아프지? 왜 아프지? 물베니
And I'm going to be telling you a little bit about May here. Now I will let you know that May works 365 days of the year. She does 3 shows every single day. She does it on a completely voluntary basis. Luckily for us, she normally does enjoy participating. She also likes to wait until the last few minutes of the presentation, so just be patient with her and hopefully we'll get to see how smart May is with some of her behavior. After May's presentation here, then we'll be going down to see King, who is our Western lowland gorilla. So if you want to stick around for that, you're welcome. Now May here is a 22-year-old female orangutan. She weighs 190 pounds. Her arms are 1.5 times the length of her legs. Fingertip to fingertip, May's arm span is about 8 feet. She does have the strength of 5 to 7 men. Hey, sweetheart. Look what I have, May. It's good. Yeah, look. You want it, don't you? Get in it. Now, May was born right here at Monkey Jungle. So notice when she walks pretty slowly and deliberately. That's because these guys spend most of their time in the trees. May, at 190 pounds, is large. Males get twice their size and up to 250 pounds. Their bodies are perfectly adapted for life in the trees, but when they're up there, they want to make sure that they're not stepping on any leaves or limbs or trees that are going to break underneath them. Because being 50 to 100 feet off the ground over 90% of the time, a fall from that distance, obviously, if not immediately fatal, could certainly be proved to have life-threatening injuries. Now, orangutan is actually two Malaysian words that mean old man of the forest. Of course, in May's case, that would be old woman of the forest. Years ago, the Malaysian people believed that orangutans were actually a primitive tribe of humans that lived way out in the woods, had the ability to speak and understand language, but chose not to, for fear that if it was discovered, they would be put to work. This is about as easy as May gets. Obviously, not your ideal worker. What you picking at there, sweetheart? What you picking at? Now, orangutans have been feral people for very many years. Part of that reason is because they remind us a little bit of ourselves. Because of May's very long arms and shorter legs, she walks kind of like a hunched up little old lady. Also, orangutans have very expressive facial features and body language, so we can often tell how they're feeling. Whether they're happy, sad, bored, tired, ill, all sorts of things. They also do have individual personalities, just like people. Now, May here is shy. She is extremely laid back. On a good day, May is borderline lazy. On a normal day, she's just lazy. Aren't you cute, girl? Aren't you? Now, orangutans are also very, very intelligent. May here does have the cognitive ability of a 4 to 6-year-old child. Anyone, hi guys, who's been around 4 to 6-year-olds knows that that is very smart indeed. Therefore, any behaviors that we do not want May to repeat, we don't do in front of her. But we have taught May lots of behaviors that help us take care of her. Now, every morning I want to make sure that May is nice and healthy. So, I take her temperature, listen to her heart and her lungs. Check to make sure she doesn't have any cuts or bruises. We're going to keep them gums are nice and healthy. Because she knows the behavior to help me do this, it's not stressful for her, and it's much easier on me. Also through the years, May has learned behavior just like the veterinarian. So if he has to come in for a relatively simple procedure, many times he doesn't have to anesthetize her. Again, much easier on May and much easier on us. Now, one of the first questions that I always get asked here at Monkey Jungle is, do people feel bad because they think May might be lonely or depressed because she is the only orangutan here? You can rest easy because orangutans are solitary, even in the wild. So even in the wild, May would be by herself. She doesn't want any other orangutans in there. That's not the way that her lifestyle goes. Unless, of course, she were to have a baby. Now, females in the wild give birth every 4 to 6 years. For the first year of life, that baby is 100% completely dependent upon its mother. The orangutans also enjoy very long childhood. It takes mom a long time to teach them all the necessary survival skills, so they stick with her for about 9 to 12 years. Now the boys, they will often leave a little bit before that. The girls stick around, helping mom take care of younger siblings that have come along, which give them, in turn, good lessons for when they're a mother someday themselves. But just so all of you guys know, orangutans are critically endangered. You can only find them in 2 islands in the world today. Those are the Indonesian islands of Borneo and Sumatra. Now, of course, those islands are separated by water. So in the wild, Borneo and Sumatran orangs don't meet. In captivity, however, they have been kept together for years. So when they get very close, they create a very special orangutan, like May here. May is what's known as a hybrid. She's a Bornean mother and a Sumatran father. Now, like I said, that happens in captivity, but not in the wild, because those islands are separated by water, and great apes are unable to swim. So your great apes are your gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans like May. They have very little subcutaneous fat and very thick, dense body muscles, so they sink. Which is why you will often find water moats around great ape enclosures. But no worries, because again, all of these guys are very, very intelligent, and they know to stay away from the water. Hey, sweet girl. Hey, May. How are you, baby? We've got some people here. Can you tell them what the most important thing is? Oh, you're looking a little early. May? Yoo-hoo. Look up, I'm not ready to join my program yet. Now, May here, if you look at her, you can see that she has very, very long fingers and very, very long toes, with absolutely almost no thumb. That's because, again, you guys live up in the trees. Those long, hooked fingers and toes help them to swing from branch to branch. Also, a large thumb would get in their way up in the trees. So it's become reduced and it's at the very bottom of their wrist. So May can't do anything as simple as touching her fingertips to her thumbs, but that's okay, because anything we think May should do with her hands, she can do with her mouth, because she has prehensile lips. Also, if she needs to pick something up, she'll often do it in a scissor-like motion and use her index finger and her middle finger to pick them up. Sweetie, hey May. You've been picking at that side of your face for a couple of days now. You'll notice that there are all sorts of please do not feed signs here in front of May's enclosure, and those are very important. Because not only do orangutans share a lot of our intelligence, as well as our individual personality traits, but they also share 96% of our DNA, which means that they share all of our germs. A well-meaning person who wants to share their raisins with May, they throw that box in, they're not only giving May their raisins, but they're also giving her all of their germs. 99% of cold germs in humans turn into pneumonia in orangutans, which is exactly what happened to May about 2 years ago. She came down with a very serious case of pneumonia. The oral antibiotics that we were giving her were not effective, so we had to resort to giving her daily shots. Not only that, it affected May's ability to breathe, so we had to teach her how to use a nebulizer. And when she's not feeling well, she will get that breathing treatment every morning and every afternoon. That will probably continue for the rest of her life. And by the way, May at 22 is just a young lady. Orangs in the wild, Live 40 to 50 years, and in captivity, 50 to 60. Now, May would move her arm there, and people get a good look at her. Lots of people think that May's expecting a baby. May is not expecting a baby. But just like some people, May gets lots of good food, not nearly as much exercise as she could use, but she's a little bit overweight. Hey girl! May! Yeah, it's me again. Hi, you want to show everyone how smart you are? You want to show everyone how smart you are? Look at me, sweetheart. I love you. We love you too. Very nice, May. Can you show us a funny face? There we go. That's how we check May's teeth and gums. And let's see those feet. Nobody's getting scratched to your long toes. There they are. I love you too, baby. How about a kiss? Very nice. And can you show everyone where your ears are? Where are your ears, May? There they are. And there's that big stretch, which is just about the amount of exercise May does every single day. Ready, sweetie? Ready? Now in there May has some delicious strawberries and also some star fruit. You'll notice that May normally will open that bag, and then she'll hold the bag with her hands, but she does all the other eating with her mouth. Again, those prehensile lips come in handy there. Now reindeers very rarely come to the ground in the wild, and that's because on the ground they are much more susceptible to their predators. Predators such as large snakes, like pythons and boa constrictors, jaguars and crocodiles, and unfortunately, of course, humans as well. Now, lumbering and deforestation and habitat destruction are the biggest threats against these highly invasive animals, but they also fall victim to the illegal pursuit trade. There they are hunted for their meat. Now, mothers or adult females are often taken because they're not quite as elusive as the males, as well as the fact that they often have offspring following them, which can slow them down a bit. When an adult mother is taken, her offspring are left to struggle to survive on their own, or they're pulled into the illegal pet trade. Neither scenario is good for anybody. Now, if May left her swinging on these perches in front of us, I'd be a little bit worried that she was getting something that she shouldn't have, because that is not adult orangutan behavior. This is adult orangutan behavior. In the wild, they will make 2 to 3 nests during the day, and they will sit there and they will eat. And then they will eat some more. Then they might take a little nap. And then they will eat some more. And that is what adult orangutans do. And normally we have all sorts of nesting material out here for May. Cane grass and leaves and palm fronds and all sorts of things. You can see the remnants of part of the nest we made right up to our right up on the top here. Now unfortunately May is feeling a little bit under the weather now. Therefore we had to take all of that nesting material out. We didn't want it to adversely affect her breathing. Once she gets all better, we'll put it all back in there for her. She can go back to making her nest. Is that good, May? Is that good? Well, in just a minute here, we're going to go down and see our other great ape here at Monkey Jungle. His name is King, and he's a gorilla. Before that, though, do any of you guys have any questions I can try and answer for you? This is a very quiet group. Like I'm in a classroom. And okay, thanks. Why did you teach it? Well, while May finishes that up, we're going to go right down here to our left if you'd like to join the lesson tonight. When you get to the Talon Jungle, you can go through the middle or to the right in the passageways there, and we will meet you at the other end. Bye, sweet girl. Bye, baby. You like those strawberries?
So when he stands and punches like that and does that and bounces up and down and grunts or whatever, yeah. It is. Yep. Hey, sweet boy. Yeah. Excuse me, sir. There you go. Yeah, you've been picking at your belly. Yes, you have. Once again, good morning, guys. My name is still Tracy, and by the way, this is my counterpart Alexis here. And in front of us is King. King is a male western lowland gorilla. He is 38 years old. He weighs approximately 450 pounds. He stands just under 5 feet 2 inches tall, and King has the strength of 10 to 12 very, very, very strong men. What? That was a half-hearted sign there, sweetheart. That's a sign that it's a grunt. That means he's happy. Now, King here is what's known as a silverback. And that means that he's a mature gorilla. Gorillas do mature between the ages of 10 and 15 years old. Before that time in their life, they have black hair on their backs, and they're called blackbacks. Afterwards, they develop this beautiful silver hair, hence the name silverback. King, up! Can you turn around and show us your back? Beautiful. Shake it up. All right. Good boy. Oh, you have a papaya. You like papaya. Ready? There you go, sweetie. Now, May, if I had been a better throw earlier, May is an excellent catch. King, on the other hand, at 38, is actually very old for a gorilla. They'll survive until their early 40s in the wild if they're very fortunate, up to 50 in captivity. But King doesn't have very much depth perception left, and he has a hard time seeing things close up. So you'll notice I try and throw a little bit away from King so as not to hit him. You may also notice that King will inspect some of his food very close up to his left eye. He wants to make sure that Alexis and I got it nice and clean. We'll know if we didn't, and so will you, because he will take it and throw it in the moat if it's not clean enough for him. Now, there are 3 subspecies of gorillas in the wild today. You have your eastern lowland gorillas, which are your largest, your western lowland gorillas and cross river gorillas, like King here, and then your mountain gorillas, which are the ones depicted in Diane Fossey's Gorillas in the Mist. In the world today, you will only find western lowland gorillas in captivity, and you can tell that because of the brown hair on their head. Eastern lowlands and mountain gorillas have black hair. Now, unlike May, who prefers to be solitary because that's how orangutans live, gorillas are actually very social creatures. And in the wild, they do travel in family groups. Soon, baby. Soon. They do travel in family groups.
You'll notice that King is the only gorilla out here. Now, we acquired King 28 years ago at the age of 10.
I know you want some. I know. At the time, we had a male and a female gorilla. The male had just died. The female became very lethargic and very depressed. At one point, we were afraid that we would lose her as well. We knew that King was available from a circus, so we brought him in. Now, he was a companion next door to Mitzi, that female gorilla, for many years. But on 3 separate occasions when we introduced Mitzi to King, she beat him up. She rejected him. Now, also, after Mitzi passed away from old age, we brought in another gorilla, female gorilla, which is a feat in itself because 7 out of 10 gorillas born are male. So females are pretty hard to come by. Now, again, that was when King experienced his 4th rejection. 4 rejections in anybody's life is plenty. Can you lay down and take a little nap, King? Good boy. Now, if I throw you this bag now, are you going to stay here? You going to lay down again? Does that feel good? You have a little gassy tummy? I want you to stay here, okay? Hold on. You ready? Sorry, Alexis. Oh, good catch, King. So much for that eyesight problem. That's it. Yeah. This is like my other piece of fruit. Now, when King was in the circus, unfortunately, to make him, quote, safer, they pulled his canine teeth. Those are the great big thing-like teeth in the front of the mouth. They happen to be very important in gorilla culture. For one thing, you can't put any 2 gorillas together. They're just like people. Also, the females are the ones that pick the mates. Now, without those teeth, one of the possibilities is that King is considered inadequate because he would be unable to protect his female and any future offspring that they might have. Also, without those teeth, we are unable
to put any male gorillas on this island with him because, again, he would be unable to protect himself. So King does have this 1.5 acre all to himself 365 days of the year. But no worries, because as a social creature, we give King lots of company and companionship. That would be Alexis's and my job. No more dessert. I don't have any. No mas. Now, I'm sorry. Eat your celery. Eat your celery. Now, if King ever wants for companionship, all you have to do is go all the way to our lessons, that tunnel right there, and let us know he's there. Sometimes he just wants to sit quietly. Other times, he wants to be a little more active, listen to music or dance. King's favorite pastime during the afternoons, though, is finger painting. We do have lots of finger painting, but he's done in the gift shop if you want to take a look. No mas, baby. It's all gone. Sorry. That's it. You're going to have to eat your lettuce and stuff. Now, King is also a very urban gorilla, and he does enjoy his very own air-conditioned night house, which also boasts its own television set and DVD player. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that one of King's favorite movies is Planet of the Apes. No mas, babe. In a minute. Relax. I don't have any. He says, I want more dessert. I want some fruit. Now, also, King, being a gorilla from down here in South Florida, realizes that it is important to be fluent in Spanish. And he does fluently understand that language. Out here, he knows that it's strictly business, and so I communicate in English. You also have all now gotten the opportunity to see King's signs. He does have about 15 to 20 of his own signs. They mean the same thing every single time he does them. So we never, ever have a problem communicating with him. That also squirrel monkeys coming out here to visit us in the trees behind us. Yes, you guys are making noise back there. I can hear you rustling in the branches. Now you will notice on King's head there's a great big bump, and that's called the sagittal crest. Much more pronounced in the males than the females. That's his sign for dessert. And they put his hands together like this. That means sweet. Now, that's actually the side of attachment for all of those muscles that anchor in those canine teeth. Relax. Relax. And partially because of those canine teeth, many people actually think that gorillas are mean, ferocious animals. You are looking at an extremely frustrated and angry gorilla right now. Not being very aggressive, though, is he? And that's because gorillas aren't. They are private and shy. They'd much rather avoid confrontation than get into an argument or a physical fight. As a matter of fact, they are the only primate species that is 100% vegetarian. This is a good lesson in how to learn that the presenter gets sidetracked when her ape is talking to her and I can't concentrate on my presentation. Now, King does not eat any meat at all. That does not mean, however, that he does not have a voracious appetite. To keep up that 450-pound physique of his, we do toss over 60 to 80 pounds of fruits and vegetables every single day. He's not real happy with what he has right now. We've kind of cut King's fruit down a little bit. So he's normally used to getting 2 pieces before he gets his veggies there. In there, he's got some green leaf lettuce, romaine, celery, green beans, carrots, sweet potatoes, all sorts of things. You'll notice that there's a sore on King's belly. And that actually is because King got into some poison wood before I did, about a month and a half ago. Now, poison wood is a lot like poison ivy, so it's very itchy. Now, every morning we give King medicine to take care of the itching from the inside. Then we sit and we rub some stuff on his belly to take care of the itching from the outside. It is very hard for King to sit still for this because he's ticklish. He's very ticklish, so that's a tough thing for him to do. Now, many people ask me if King climbs any of these trees out here, and there are plenty of them for him to climb. Remember that I mentioned to you that King is 38 years old. I also happen to be 38 years old. I am out on this island every single morning, and I can assure all of you, I am not looking for any trees to climb. No mas, baby, relax. King and I both know we're getting a little bit older. Our bones are becoming a little bit more brittle, and we prefer to stay on the ground where it's nice and safe. The only thing that would induce King to try and go up a tree is if he felt very, very threatened and scared. Ah, sweet boy. I don't have any. Now, before I have to go back and get King a treat, because he's obviously not very happy right now, does anybody have any questions I can try and answer for you? No? Well, one more cute story before I let you go then. That is that before King had this island, he had been in a cage for almost his entire life. Therefore, when he came out here, it was a little bit scary for him. Now, one day he was actually leaning against the spicus tree sleeping, and an iguana got a bit curious. That iguana came up and climbed right up on King's belly. It woke him up, and he screamed like a baby. Since then, though, King seems to have realized that he is a little bit bigger than those iguanas out there. So, when he's in the mood, he will sometimes lure one over with his fruits and vegetables. When it gets close enough, he will pick it up and toss it in the moat. Now, it doesn't hurt the iguanas. They are very hardy creatures and excellent swimmers. They just climb up and start the whole thing all over again. King, do you want a treat? If you do, let's go in there, okay? Well, guys, your next presentation is at 11:30 in 15 minutes, and that's in our Amazon rainforest with all sorts of squirrel monkeys like the little guys behind us. We also have black-capped capuchins and red howlers that will hopefully come out to see you. Now, when you exit the Cameroon jungle, if you continue walking straight, it will be your first lap. Once again, my name is Tracy. This is Alexis, and this here is King. We do want to wish all of you a very happy new year and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, if I have to eat my celery, I will.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
What if a stranger walked in there, somebody beside you, how would he react?
If the stranger walked in there, he would probably charge. Now, probably what he would do is do a false charge and try and scare them and get them away. Probably wouldn't openly attack, but if he did feel threatened, that person came at him in a threatening way, then he certainly could. And he doesn't need teeth to stand this. At 450 pounds, he's pretty strong.
Yep.
Yeah. You're welcome. I know, you're up.
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh, man. Oh, he's opening his hands all in here. They're pretty simple about it, actually.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Monkey Jungle's Amazon Rainforest. My name is Chelsea, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about these monkeys and this rainforest around you. So if you have any questions, when the presentation is finished, I would be happy to answer them for you. Well, before 1992, if you were to look up toward the sky, you would have not been able to see it. Because of the dense canopy and vine growth, it would have been very dark, cool, and moist back here. Much of the vegetation that you can see on the ground now did not exist in our old rainforest because the sun could not reach the ground as well as it does now, so only the hardiest of plants could survive. We even had our own weather system here, which was similar to that which you would find in the South American rainforest. And because of the humidity and moisture that condensed above the canopy, and the fact that some of the lower lying clouds would get caught in the taller trees, it would rain somewhat consistently almost every day here, maintaining the environment of a true rainforest. It was one of the only semi-natural tropical rainforests in North America. However, in 1992, Hurricane Andrew made landfall and it devastated the park. We lost 100% of our canopy and 80% of our overall vegetation. Now there are 3 different species of monkeys in our rainforest. The large red ones, like the one in this picture, are called red howler monkeys. And I don't see any. The big brown ones, like the one right there, and the one in this picture are called black-capped capuchins. And the little yellow and gray monkeys that you see everywhere else, those are the squirrel monkeys. Well, we currently have 3 red howler monkeys, and they get their name howler because of their territorial vocalizations, which can be heard for up to over several miles away. They're the second loudest animal on the planet. First comes a blue whale, and then comes them. Well, they were here, and you were to look at their tails. You will notice that they will be able to hang their bodies down from the branches by their tails. The type of tail that they have is called a prehensile tail, and they could use it as a 5th leg. That allows them to reach down, to reach the fruits on the smaller branches that are inaccessible or otherwise too small to climb out on. The capuchins have the same types of tails as the howlers, and baby squirrel monkeys have semi-prehensile tails, but they lose that ability of their tails as they age. The tails of older squirrel monkeys serve the purpose of balancing as they jump through the trees. Now we have 5 black-capped capuchins, and And these are the monkeys that were previously used as organ grinder monkeys. And you can also see them in movies such as Ace Ventura, George of the Jungle, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And this is because capuchins are considered to be the smartest of all the New World monkeys. They are even being used in programs that help quadriplegics and paraplegics. They are trained to do things that their owners are not able to do themselves. Things like turn on and off lights, radios, and televisions, get clothes and shoes and help adjust their owners, pull up the bed sheets, help feed their owners, turn pages of books, and put books back on the bookshelves. Now in the wild, capuchin howlers and squirrel monkeys all live in the same rainforest. But in a true rainforest, the howlers mainly occupy the upper levels of the canopy, above 60 feet, whereas capuchins and squirrel monkeys primarily occupy the mid and lower levels of the forest. Now these squirrel monkeys are the whole reason that this rainforest exists. And Frank Dumont brought these squirrel monkeys here back in 1955. And once he had a population established, he noticed that he was able to do something at the time that no other zoos or facilities were able to do, and that was to breed them. Other zoos or facilities would put several males and females all in the same small cage and expect them to reproduce, and they would not. And what Frank Dumont realized is that these squirrel monkeys remain in same-sex groups throughout the year. The males stay with the males, and the females stay with the females. Also, females are the dominant sex, not the males. So they will come together at the feeding stations, but once they leave, will be back to their same-sex groups. And for about 8 to 9 months of the year, if a male tries to approach a female, the chances are that he'll be chased off. Now the males do have one adaptation to this. During the months of November to March, which is the breeding season, the males go through a process called fatting. And during this time, they have a huge surge in the level of their hormones, which causes them to gain about 20% of their normal body size and weight. So pretty much they look like little bodybuilders. And if you look right there in the tree, and you see that male that's eating, and he looks really, really muscular, that's what they look like when they're fatting during the mating season. Well, this does 3 main things for the males. First, it makes them virtually resistible to the females. Second, because of the increased level of the hormones, it makes them more aggressive. And third, it makes the males a little bit bigger, so that they can withstand the good beating from a female who does not wish to associate with him. And once the breeding season is over, the male will shrink back to his original size. Now if you look at the feeding station, you can see that each day they get a healthy amount of fresh fruits and vegetables. And with about 150 monkeys in this rainforest, you may wonder why all of the food isn't gone. Well, that's because fruits and vegetables only compromises between 20 to 40% of the diet of squirrel monkeys and capuchins. Both are omnivorous, largely eating various insects, lizards, spiders, and other small animal prey. So what they get during the shows is only a small part of their daily food intake. The rest they find on their own, as they would in the wild, on their leaves and on trees and other plants. Well, this concludes the presentation here in Monkey Jungle's Amazon Rainforest. Does anyone have any questions? No questions? Okay. Well, I'd like to take this chance to thank you all for coming out today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here in Monkey Jungle.
Let's get back to base camp, get the
batteries. Yeah.
batteries and then feed more.
I guess it's like one big circle.
I just do this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't come down in here.
Huh?
They don't come down.
Not.
Oh,
One of the monkeys over there, there's Bruno, and he's got big scratch marks on his butt. Somebody got him. They got fights. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Monkey Jungle's Wild Monkey Swimming Pool. My name is Chelsea, and at this time I'm going to go ahead and ring this triangle to let the monkeys know that I will be tossing fruit for them. Just to let you know, the reason that we ring the bell is because we have about 140 of these monkeys, and they are all spread out over 7 acres. These monkeys are not tamed or trained in any way, and we have no control over who shows up. Just give me a second to ring the bell, and I'll see if any monkeys want to come and eat.
Yeah, there's some up there.
now we all fed them too much.
Well, the kind of monkeys that you see in front of you is what we call a Java macaque, or a crab-eating macaque. The first name they get, Java macaque, is given to them because of where they originate, which is an island in Southeast Asia known as the island of Java. The second name they get, crab-eating macaque, is given to them due to the fact that in the wild, their natural diet includes crabs and shrimp. One other interesting fact about these monkeys is that they swim. Now, although all monkeys are able to swim, few monkeys actually seem to enjoy it the way these guys do. But, since shrimp and crab are frequently found underwater, Javas in the wild have to swim to get their food. But in this group, it's usually the juveniles who do most of the swimming because they enjoy playing in the water. The older macaques say they're too lazy to work for their food, or they just don't want to get wet. Well, these macaques were brought here in 1933 by Joseph Duman, which has gradually disappeared after birth. As soon as the other members of the troop detect a change in the infant's coat color, both mother and infant will lose their special status, and the infant will assume the social status of the mother. Java infants will nurse for up to about 9 months. However, after the mother loses her special feeding privileges, she'll wean her baby onto more solid foods, such as fruits and bugs. Well, this concludes the presentation here at the Wild Monkey Swimming Pool. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, well, before you go, I'd like to caution you. Because all of the animals here at Monkey Jungle are wild, whenever you are feeding them, please keep in mind that they have large sharp teeth and can bite. Please make sure that you only feed them through the cups and tubes provided. If there are no cups or tubes, please do not feed them through the wire mesh. These signs around the park refer to all the animals here at Monkey Jungle, and not just the ones immediately near the signs. We also ask that you please do not try to pet these monkeys or lean over the railing next to the swimming pool area, because there's an electrical wire at the bottom. This is not just for your safety, but also for theirs. And finally, if you see any wildlife in the trails, whether they're snakes, frogs, turtles, birds, squirrels, or lizards, please leave them alone and do not touch them. They will go right on by you. If you have any additional questions about any of these animals, my name is Chelsea and I'll be happy to answer them for you. The next show will be the orangutan show at 1 o'clock. And immediately following that presentation, the keeper will take you back and do a presentation with our male western lowland gorilla.
I want to go to the monkey jungle. We need the monkeys. Every house.
on, we gotta get down to the orangutan. Come on. Yeah.
Something. 멋있어.
Exhausted. She has, for the last 10 or so years, has been perfecting the art of doing absolutely nothing. She's gotten pretty good at it. She's 22. You have any one little one? Nope. We're going into all of that. We're going to wait a couple minutes so she can put one off the over there. We can. We have more. Orangutans are solitary. So we have individuals let them group. It's not how they enjoy being kept. So her mother is actually at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. And she had a brother who passed away about 4 years ago. Which is extremely sad and heartbreaking for us and obviously for him. And we probably be happy to stay in her life. Scared, bored, whatever. And sometimes it may get with me just impatient. Hey, sweet girl. You're faced the wrong way.
Now, also, orangutans do have individual personalities, just like people. May here is shy. She is extremely laid back. Oh, you bring in some of your nesting material. Now, you'll notice that when May moves, she moves in pretty slow and deliberate movements, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Hey, baby. What was it? Was it when I said grapes? That what got you? Hi, sweetie. Hi. Yeah, you're right out front now. Now, May here, her personality is she's shy. She's extremely laid back. On a good day, May is borderline lazy. On a normal day, she's just lazy. Aren't you, sweetie? Now that you have a nice look, oh, it looks like you have some water in your cup there. Did you get that bug? Did you get it? Now that you guys can all see May really good, the first question that I get a lot is May expecting a baby? May is not pregnant or expecting a baby. But May does get lots of good food, not nearly as much exercise as she could probably use, so she's a little bit overweight.
As a matter of fact, she might actually float. There's lots of subcutaneous fat on her. Now, orangutans are also very, very intelligent, and May does have the cognitive ability of a 4 to 6-year-old child. Anyone who's been around 4 to 6-year-olds knows that that is very smart indeed. Therefore, any behaviors that we do not want May to repeat, we don't do in front of her. But we have taught her all sorts of behaviors that help us take care of her. Now, in the morning, I want to make sure that May is nice and healthy before we let her out. So I take her temperature, I listen to her heart and her lungs, check to make sure she doesn't have any cuts or bruises, and that her teeth and gums are nice and clean. Because she knows the behaviors to help me do this, it's not stressful on her, and it's much easier for me. Also through the years, May has developed the intelligence to help the veterinarian out as well. So if it's a relatively simple procedure that he needs to perform, we often don't have to anesthetize her. Again, much safer and less on her, and much better for us. Hey, pretty girl, is there water in there? Is there water in there? You're looking kind of ornery. You sure are. You're not looking like you're in the best of moods there. Now you'll notice right under May's chin is a big flap of skin across her chest, and that's called throat sac. The male and the female orangutans both have them. The males use them a lot more than the females, and they use them to communicate. They'll use that throat sac to bellow. It's called a long call. Now, one of the other things that I get from people all of the time is that everybody worries if May is lonely or depressed and how sad she is. Now, orangutans very rarely come down to the ground, and that's because on the ground they are much more susceptible to their predators. Predators like large snakes, pythons, and boa constrictors can make a lot of an entire orangutan. Incidentally, when they do, they don't have to eat for over a year. Also, jaguars, crocodiles, and of course, unfortunately, us. Now, deforestation and logging are the biggest threats against these critically endangered animals. But unfortunately, they are also victims of the illegal bushmeat trade where they are hunted for their meat. A lot of times it isn't the adult female that is taken because they are not quite as elusive as the males, as well as the fact that they often have offspring that slow them down a bit. When a mother is taken out of the wild, her children are left to struggle to survive on their own, or they're put into the illegal pet trade. Again, not anything good for anyone. On Orangutan Island, most of those orphans were from moms taken from business. Now, May. Hi, baby girl. Now, we normally have all sorts of different nesting material out here for May. We have cane grass and banana leaves and palm fronds and all sorts of things for her to build her nest with. Unfortunately, like I said, she's not feeling well. So we didn't want that to affect her breathing, so we took all of that out, which might be part of the reason for May's early mood. But being very resourceful, May has decided that if we are not going to provide her with nesting material, she will get it on her own. So she's slowly but surely picking up all the plants that are along her enclosure and taking those to use those as a nest. Hey, sweetie. May, we got lots of people here. Can you tell them what the most important thing is, May? So you have a pimple? I'm pretty intense on whatever it is. Sweet girl. May, you're getting ready to go down and see King. Yeah. Welcome to your show, sweetie. I what? You what? May, what's the most important thing? What's the most important thing? I love you. That is the most important thing. Let's give me a round of applause for that. You're such a smart girl. Sweetheart, how about a funny face? There we go. Aww. How about a kiss? Nice kiss. And let's see those beautiful feet. Show me your feet. All right. You are so smart. Oh, got it. Now, there's something wrong, so I gotta take care of it. Don't worry, May. Take your time. And May, let's do some exercise. May, can I get a big stretch? May, big stretch. Big stretch. Yep, that's what you said. May's exercise. Good girl, sweetheart. You ready for your bag? You ready?
Yes.
Oh, she says no, but I saw you're already going to throw it. Ready? How about one more kiss? All right. This is kind of light, sweetie. I hope I can get it up there. Now, maybe you got all sorts of good things in there. You have another pack of starfruit. You got a piece of Menachem. Okay, great. Yes, you absolutely will make use that bag tonight. And normally we have blanket out here too, so interweave things. And you'll notice, remember, I told you that May doesn't use her hands like that, so she rolls that bag and she uses her lips to use your lips to get the peel off the so use her lips to eat everything. Now while May is enjoying those few little treats, before we go down to see King, who's our other grade 8 pair, he's a gorilla. If you really have any questions, I can try and answer for you. Yes, sir. I say that she's overweight in the back. Absolutely. And part of the thing that all captive animals have is that 99% of the animals you see in captivity are overweight. Because, number one, they don't have to forage for their food, so they don't ever go through any shortages. They also don't have to exercise and move around for it. Again, unless they actually have an interest in high moving around, they prefer to stay still. But yeah, that is definitely wrong. And also, there's a little bit of overweight because and she puts the whole neck in there. That's what she has? Is that right? You think so look good, really good mood. Yeah. How many staff work with May? That's a very good question. And actually with May and King, maybe your Menachem and King, very few people work with that. It is an extremely long process to become bonded with them. Once you do gain their trust though, it will be lifelong. With May and King, it's normally a few months before somebody will be on their own to work with them again because they have to accept you. Also, you can have the best keeper in the entire world. Really, you have a cat here, right? Yeah. Sorry, I normally see over the pool there. I'm sorry. Yeah. But he works much better. Hey, sweet boy. Had a long walk.
Do they have big brains? Look at that big
Actually, their brain is about the size of ours. But I'll talk about that big head in just a minute. You hear those sirens, King? What's going on there? Once again, good afternoon, folks. Everyone's in a perfect position here. And there's no problem with you guys standing up by the fence, but just be sure that you don't work your way in here so that the people sitting down on the bleachers don't get blocked. Once again, my name is still Tracy. This is King, though. King is a male western lowland gorilla. He is 38 years old. He weighs approximately 450 pounds. King stands just under 5 feet 2 inches tall, and he has a strength of 10 to 12. Very, very, very strong men. Now, I'll let you guys know right off that King's sending all of us a message right now, and that message is he likes us and doesn't want to fight. And you can tell that because he's not sitting head on. Direct head on head is a confrontational position for gorillas. Now, King knows he's nice and strong, but he also knows that there are many more of us than of him. So by him sitting like this, he's sending us the message right away that he's glad that we're here, but he doesn't want to try and fight anybody or all of us at one time. So he's much more comfortable sitting that way. Aren't you, sweetheart? Aren't you? Now, King is what's known as a silverback, and that means he's a mature gorilla. Gorillas mature between the ages of 10 and 15 years old. Before that time in their life... Oh, did he? It's just your picture, King. You know cameras. You know cameras. Yeah. I know. Now, gorillas mature between the ages of 10 and 15 years old. Before that time in their back, they have black hair on their backs. They're called blackbacks. Afterwards, they develop that beautiful silver hair, hence the name silverback. King, can we see your back, sweetie? Up. Up.
Look at that look of disdain.
King, look. Okay. Turn around. Oh, you just tripped. Shake it out. All right. for you, sweetheart. Want your iced tea?
Iced tea. Look at that.
I know, it's a long way, sorry. Now, unlike May, who is an absolutely fabulous catch, king here at 38 is actually very old. Gorillas in the wild will only live till their early 40s if they're very fortunate, and up to 50 in captivity. But king here doesn't have a lot of depth perception left, and he has a hard time seeing things close up. So you will notice that I throw things away from him so as not to hit him. You will also notice, as king is doing right now, he a lot of times will inspect his food very close up to his left eye. He wants to make sure that it's nice and clean and that we washed it properly. We will know if he didn't, if he doesn't think we did, because he will take it and toss it in the moat. How could you take the lid off that, sweet boy? Did it get jammed right through it? Now that's iced tea that king is drinking, doctor's orders. Gorillas don't process vitamin C very well. So it's King's day to get oranges. He's on a very regimented diet to keep him nice and healthy, but there's an additive in the iced tea. I come up with something, an ingredient in the iced tea that helps break down vitamin C. So that's why King gets vitamin C. Now, unlike orangutan, first of all, there are 3 different subspecies of gorillas in the wild today. You have your eastern lowland gorillas, which are your largest, your western lowland gorillas like King here, and then your mountain gorillas, which are the ones depicted in Diane Fosse's Gorillas in the Mist. You will only find western lowland gorillas in captivity today, and you can tell that because of the brown hair on their head. Eastern lowland gorillas and mountain gorillas have black hair. Now, unlike orangutans who prefer to be solitary, gorillas are actually very social creatures, and in the wild they do travel in groups of 5 to 20 individuals. You will notice that King is the only gorilla out here. Now we got King 28 years ago. He was 10 years old at the time. We'd had a male and a female gorilla, and the male had just died. The female became very lethargic, very depressed. And at one point, we were actually worried that we might lose her as well. We knew that King was available from a circus, so we went and got him. Didn't we, sweet boy? You want to lay down and take a little nap? I know you want food. You want to lay down? That helps the gas King has in his tummy. You want an orange, sweetie? I try not to throw it hard, King, but they I know, they roll it forever. It is a no-win situation, because if I moat it, then he's really unhappy, and if I throw it and it rolls, he's really unhappy as well. He looks at me like, Tracy, you've been doing this long enough, can't you do any better than that? Okay, peel your orange, and then come back up here to eat it. Now, we knew the King was available, so we went and got him. Now, King and Mitzi, who's that female that I was talking about, were next-door neighbors for many years. On 3 separate occasions, though, Mitzi was introduced to King. On all 3 occasions, she rejected him. Also, after Mitzi died of old age, we brought in another female gorilla and introduced her as well, which is a feat in itself because 7 out of 10 gorillas born are male, so females are very hard to come by. That was when King suffered his 4th rejection. Exactly. 4 rejections in one lifetime is plenty. Now, gorillas and us are a lot alike. You can't just put any male and female gorilla together. All sorts of squirrel monkeys visiting us back here. You can't put any 2 together. Also, it is the female that picks the mate, not the male. Unfortunately, when King was in the circus, to make him, quote, safer, they pulled his canine teeth. Those are those great big fang-like teeth, and they are very important in gorilla culture. Without them, he's probably considered inadequate because he would not be able to protect his female or any offspring that they may have. Also, without those canine teeth, we can't put any male gorillas out here with King because, again, he'd be unable to protect himself. So he does have this 1.5-acre island, 365 days of the year, barring, of course, any hurricanes. But don't worry, because we are very conscientious about King's social life and not being lonely. So, King also has us, Alexis and I, 9 hours every single day. And if he ever gets lonely, all he has to do is go right to our left into that tunnel there. He lets us know he's there. Sometimes when King comes back, he just wants to sit quietly. Other times, he wants to be a little bit more active. King likes to dance, not on command, but he likes to dance when the mood strikes him. His 2 favorite types of music are salsa and steel pan. He's cross-cultural. But King's favorite activity by far is actually finger painting. We do have lots of finger paintings that King has done in the past in the gift shop if you want to take a look. Now, being a very urban gorilla, King does enjoy his very own air-conditioned and heated night house that boasts a television set and a DVD player. One of his favorite movies is actually Planet of the Apes. The old one. The new one looks scary. I haven't watched the new one yet, but the old one, he likes the old one. Also, at night, soon, at night when I tuck King in, I ask him if he wants to watch TV. He'll shake his head yes or no. And if it's yes, normally, lately, he's had his stuff on the Weather Channel. Now, gorillas sleep 10 to 12 hours a night, so we never leave the volume up because we don't want to keep him awake. But they also see the world just like us, and that means in color in 3 dimensions. With all that Doppler radar, probably very stimulating for King to see all those colors during the night. Up until recently, though, I will have to tell you that King's favorite early evening program was the Ellen DeGeneres talk show. So he goes through stages. Now, also, being from South Florida, King does know that it is muy importante to be fluent in Spanish, and he is fluent in Spanish. Remember, I mentioned earlier that keeper of his for 18 years, she was from Mexico. She communicated completely in Spanish in the back with King. Now, King knows that out here it's strictly business. He also knows that the only 2 words in Spanish I know are muy importante. So, I communicate in English. But King also signs. He does have about 15 of his own signs. They mean the same thing every single time he does them. So we have never had any problem communicating with King. Sweetheart, one more thing. You want to walk like a man for us? You want to walk like a man? Up! It's just a camera. It's just a camera and a hat. Look here. Look here. Relax. Very nice. Up! Walk like a man, King. Turn around and back. Very good. You're such a smart boy. Let's give King a round of applause. You're a good boy. Ready? This is heavy. I made this a little heavy. Ready? I made this too heavy. And it's breaking. Ready?
Yeah, most of it.
Yeah, that's not bad. But he got his raisins, and that's the most important part. Sorry, King. But you got your dessert there, sweet boy. He was looking for that last show. It wasn't in there. King likes a little dessert every once in a while. Now, you may have noticed that King has a red spot on his belly, a sore right there.
Yeah.
King got that about a month and a half ago. He was out on the island, and he found some poison wood before I did. Poison wood is a lot like poison ivy, so it's very itchy. Now, it's just like poison ivy. So it's like a leafy, branchy tree, bush thing. Now, every morning, King gets actually an Alivert to take care of the itching from the inside, and then he has to sit very still, and we rub some stuff on his belly to take care of the itching from the outside. That is very hard for King to do, because he's ticklish. Yes, he is. Now, just a couple more things before I let you guys go, and that is that lots of people ask me if King climbs any of these trees out here on the island. He certainly has plenty to choose from. Remember that I mentioned that King is 38 years old. I also happen to be 38 years old. I am out on this island every single morning, and I can assure you I am not looking for any trees to climb. We both know we're a little bit older, our bones are becoming a little bit more brittle, therefore we prefer to stay on the ground where it's nice and safe. But he does have different nesting sites that he goes to during the day, different times of the day. Now, before King had this island that was put in a few years back, he'd been in a cage for virtually his entire life. So, when he got the island, it was a little bit scary for him. It took a while to move him out to where he was comfortable. But once, he was actually in the earlier days, sleeping right against his ficus, which is his favorite tree out here. And an iguana got kind of curious and decided to get a closer look. So, that iguana came and climbed right up on King's belly. Of course, that woke King up. And he screamed like a baby. Since then, though, he has actually learned that, you know what, he's a little bit bigger than those iguanas. So when he's in the mood, he will actually lure them over with his fruits and vegetables. And when it gets close enough, he will pick it up and drop it in the moat. Now, they're very hardy creatures, so it doesn't hurt them. They're excellent swimmers. That's just kind of a little entertainment that King provides for himself. Yeah. Now, being the great big brave boy that he is, oh, you go onto your tree? You'll notice that big bump on King's head, which we were talking about earlier. Gorilla brains are actually just the size of our brains. But that's called a sagittal crest. And what it is the site of attachment for all of those muscles that anchor in those canine teeth. And partially because of those canine teeth, King, why didn't you take your lunch with you? Now, he may just be going right over to the other side of the tree. Otherwise, he's sensed that somebody else is back here and he wants to make sure they're supposed to be. You going to stop there, sweet boy? King? Yeah, he says he's done. Let's go, because I'm almost done as well. He says, Tracy, you know what? The only way to get you to shut up is to leave. He knows me too well. Now, partially because of those great big canine teeth, many people think that gorillas are mean and ferocious animals, but they really are not. They're very private, and they would much rather avoid confrontations than actually go into a fight.
Probably that sweater's a little aggression going on.
Yeah.
Nice to get it down. Yeah. Make sure I'm even helping. I think it's way up.
Yeah, I think so too.
For the keeper will get to it.
Yep.
That's okay, he dropped it down.
These guys are just too cute. See, this is the one. And then the males have to go away.
Okay, we'll go back and then they were sort of again.
And the females will go down carrying their young bucks until
Meanwhile, we'll look at some of the other fellows.
So now we got the boys put on
All
weight
that good
because
food.
they do their body size.
You separate the males from the females
No,
later?
we don't separate them now.
Never?
They do it themselves.
Yeah.
Oh. So how many babies a year do you get here about?
I'm not sure. I haven't been here during the breeding season, so I'm sure it varies.
Yeah.
They're already in the pan. She puts it. They like to eat. You guys. Oh, you got something.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my jungle.
Before you came, they were taking the wire mesh off the wheelbarrow. Was that a request?
No, it's like a Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my
Down Amazon rainforest. My name is Kelsey, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about these monkeys.
answer them for you. Well, before 1992, if you were to look up toward the sky, you would have not been able to see it. Because of the dense canopy and vine growth, it would have been very dark, cool, and moist back here. Much of the vegetation that you can see on the ground now did not exist in our old rainforest because the sun could not reach the ground as long as it now, so only the hardest plants could survive. We even had our own weather system here, which was similar to that which you would find out on the rainforest. And because of the humidity and moisture that condensed above the canopy, and the fact that some of the lower lying clouds would get caught in the taller trees, it would rain for what consistently almost every day here, maintaining the environment of a true rainforest. It was one of the only semi-natural tropical rainforests in North America. However, in 1992, Hurricane Andrew made landfall and devastated the park. We lost 100% of our canopy and 80% of our overall vegetation. Now there are 3 different species of monkeys in our rainforest. The large red ones, like the one in this picture, are called red howler monkeys. The big brown one, like the one in this picture, called black cap capuchin. You don't see any of those around right now either. And the little yellow and gray ones that you see everywhere else, those are the squirrel monkeys. Well, we currently have 3 red howler monkeys, and they get their name howler because of their territorial vocalization, which can be heard for up to over several miles away. They're the second loudest animal on the planet. First comes the blue whale, and then comes that. So if they were here, and you were to look at their tails, you would notice how they would be able to hang their bodies off from the branches by their tails. The type of tail that they have is called the prehensile tail, and they can use it as a 5th leg. It allows them to reach down, to reach the roots on the smaller branches that are inaccessible or otherwise too small to climb out on. The capuchins have the same types of tails as the howlers, and baby squirrel monkeys have similar prehensile tails, but they lose that ability of their tails as they age. The tails of older squirrel monkeys serve the purpose of balancing their weight as they jump through the trees. Now we have 5 black-capped capuchins, and these are the monkeys that were previously used as organ grinder monkeys. And you can also see them in movies such as Ace Ventura, George of the Jungle, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And this is because capuchins are considered to be the smartest of all the New World monkeys. They're even being used in programs that help quadriplegics and paraplegics. They're trained to do things that their owners are not able to do themselves. Things like turn on and off lights, radios, and televisions, and clothes and shoes and help to dress their owners, close to bed sheets, help feed their owners, their cases of books, and put books on the Now the wild, capuchin howlers, and squirrel monkeys all live in the same rainforest. But in the 2 rainforests, the howlers mainly occupy with a canopy above 60 feet, whereas capuchins and squirrel monkeys primarily occupy the middle lower levels of the forest. Now these squirrel monkeys are the whole reason that this rainforest exists. And Frank Dumont brought these squirrel monkeys here back in 1955. And once he had a population established, he noticed he was able to do something at the time that no other zoos or facilities were able to do. And that was to breed them. Other zoos and facilities would put several males and females all in the same small cage and expect them to reproduce, and they would not. And what Frank Dumont realized is that these monkeys remain in same-sex groups throughout the year. The males stay with the males, and the females stay with the females. Also, females are the dominant sex, not the males. So they will come together at the feeding station, but once they leave, we'll be back to a same-sex group. And for about 8 to 9 months of the year, if a male tries to approach a female, the chances are he'll be chased off. Now the males do have one adaptation to this. During the months of November to March, which is their breeding season, the males go through a process called fatting. And during this time, they have a huge surge in the level of their hormones, which causes them to gain about 20% of their normal body size and weight. So this does 3 main things for the males. First, it makes them virtually irresistible to the females. Second, because of the increased level in the hormones, it makes them more aggressive. And third, it makes females a little bit bigger, so that they can withstand a good beating from a female who does not wish to associate with him. And once the breeding season is over, the male will shrink back to his original size. Now, if you look at the feeding station, you can see that each day they get a healthy amount of fresh fruits and vegetables. And with about 150 monkeys in this rainforest, you may wonder why all of the food isn't gone. Well, that's because fruits and vegetables only compromises between 20 to 40% of the diet of squirrel monkeys and capuchins. Both are omnivorous, largely eating various insects, lizards, spiders, and other small animal prey. So what they get during the shows is only a small part of their daily food intake.
The rest they found on the road as they would in the wild, under leaves and on trees and other plants. Well, this concludes the presentation here in Monkey Jungle's Amazon rainforest. Does anyone have any questions?
Do you have a surplus population? Do you get too many that you give out to zoos or something, or is it stable?
No, we've never had too many. Like the squirrel monkeys, we have like about 110 to 140 of them, but they're all fine. And then we only have, the only ones that we can't have too many of are the howlers and the capuchins because they get very territorial, and we have to have more space in order to have more of those. But we've never really had problems.
It's like a stable population.
How long do they live?
Which ones?
These little squirrel monkeys.
The squirrel monkeys live to be about 15 years old.
Oh. How big are they when they're born?
They're pretty small.
And how long do they cling to the mother then?
Yeah, for about 6 to 9 months.
When are the babies born?
Well, the breeding season starts in November. So anywhere, the gestation period is about 6 months.
Oh, so fall.
Yeah.
I see a couple of the squirrel monkeys are taking leaves and wrapping it around the fruit. What is that?
Oh, I don't know. I've actually never seen them do that.
Go over here.
They might be doing it to clean their fruits.
Okay.
So sometimes they do that.
The peanuts are gone. They're out of peanuts. They want me to tell you.
They're still looking. They're digging through it.
I'd like to take this time to thank y'all for coming out today.
Thank
Hope
you.
you're enjoying your day here in the jungle.
They could not take them out. They were stuck them in her cheeks and then both paws. Looking around to give them to somebody else. It's like they love the peanuts. And now the peanuts are gone.
Oh, so now they're focusing on the vegetable and the fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It was too cute. See how greedy some of them were. Taking all the peanuts that they couldn't even walk. They don't like whatever's in there, the brown things that have been dog food. Yeah. All these vitamins, it's not good for them. Yeah. Anybody might come and put money in, or food in my little tray there.
will give it her all. She normally waits until about the last 3 minutes of the presentation or so. So try and be patient with May. Hopefully she'll show us just how smart she really is. Won't you, sweetheart? But again, those are definitely on her own terms. Look, May, I've got some Nutrizioso and Delicioso. I'm having a smoothie for you, sweetheart. The very own smoothie that I'm getting all over me. Now, orangutan is actually 2 Malaysian words that mean old man of the forest, or, of course, in her case, old woman of the forest. The Malaysians did believe that orangutans were actually a primitive tribe of very little subcutaneous fat and very thick, dense body muscle. So, they sink, which is why, let's keep trying to get ahead of you. So, they sink, which is why you will often find water moats around grade 8 enclosures. No worries though, folks. All grade 8s are very, very intelligent, so they know not to get near the water. Now, I mentioned to you that in the wild, Sumatra and Borneo orangutans did not meet. But in captivity, they have actually been kept together. And when they get very close, they create May. May is a very special orangutan. She's what's known as a hybrid. She had a Bornean mother and a Sumatran father. Sweet girl! May, you want to come out here for me? Can I get some help, baby? You can at least look and see what I have for you. You fixing your hair for everyone? Now, May is very big at 190 pounds. You can see she's quite a big animal. Males get twice her size and over 250 pounds. They are the largest animal in the world that are arboreal. That means they live in the trees. They spend over 90% of their time 50 to deuced thumbs. It's very small and at the bottom of her wrist. So she can't do anything as simple as touching her fingertips to her thumb. But that's okay, because anything we think May should do with her hands, she can do with her lips, because she has prehensile lips. That way she can say people hold those branches up in the trees up there and just use her mouth as tools. May! Sweetie! Are you going to turn around and knock? May! She's a stubborn one, isn't she? Now, orangutans also have very individual personalities, just like people. And May here is shy. She is extremely laid back. On a good day, May is borderline lazy. On a normal day, she's just lazy. I'll be up fun talking to you. Or about you. Look what I have for you, sweetheart. She said, maybe a smoothie will do it. See, now you can see May's fingers, or curled fingers and toes. Now, she's pretty careful and slow when she moves around. You're a pretty girl, sweetheart. Yeah, it's just Chad down there. They're just checking out your refrigerator because it went out. You know, someone's down in her night house. That's not a normal occurrence. So May's going to come out on her perch here for us. Now, you'll notice that there are all sorts of please do not feed signs here in front of May's enclosure. And those are very important. Because not only do orangutans share individual personality traits with us, as well as a lot of our intelligence, they also share 96% of our DNA, which means they share all of our germs. A well-meaning person who wants to share, so I'm going to have to get, I have to let her see it, otherwise she gets distracted. A well-meaning person who wants to share their raisins with May, soon baby. Toss that box in. Not only are they giving May their raisins, they are also giving May all of their germs. 99% of cold germs in humans leading to pneumonia in orangutans. This is exactly what happened to May about 2 years ago. May came down with a very serious case of pneumonia. The oral antibiotics that we were giving her were not doing the trick. So we had to resort to giving her daily shots. It also affected May's ability to breathe, so we had to teach her how to use a nebulizer. Now, when she's not feeling well, every morning and every afternoon she does that breathing treatment, and will probably be on that for the rest of her life. Normally during our search, we put nice sleeping bags for May. If you might see the bags around the enclosure, we put the kinds of food in there. Unfortunately, May is feeling a little under the weather right now. So she's getting this nice freshly made beet smoothie that has bananas and apple juice. Don't tell us, but it also has medicine. That's why we wanted to get this right now. Oh, Mason, I'm pulling out all the stops now. Where you going, sweet girl? Do you want to show everybody how smart you are? Do you? Lots of people here. What's the most important thing? I love you. That's right. Let's give May a big round of applause. Love is the most important thing, sweetheart. I haven't asked for anything yet. Can we see your feet? Look at those long Now, let me see that feet again. Let's see. I love you. I love you. Menachem. Wow. He's really pulling out all the stops there and that's for you guys. And there's that foot. May, where are your ears? Your ears. There are your ears. And how about a big stretch? Now I'm going to ask one time, May, how about a funny face? There we go. There we go. And that's how we check our teeth and gums and all sorts of things. May, this does not have a lid, but you told me that and I should have put one on. This is not going to work well. Okay, ready, sweetheart? Ready? Oh, good catch, May. Good catch, sweetheart. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know. It's a little messy. Alexa told me to put a lid on there, and I didn't. But she'll get herself nice and clean here. Now, orangutans very rarely come down to the ground, and that's because on the ground, they are more susceptible to their predators like water snakes, crocodiles, and of course people. Now, deforestation as well as lumbering are the major threats against these critically endangered animals. But unfortunately, they're also victims of the illegal bushmeat trade when they're hunted for their meat. A lot of times it's an adult female that is taken because they're not quite as elusive as the males. Well, the fact they often they have offspring that slow them down. That leaves orphans out there who struggle for survival or to be put into the illegal pet trade. They're really showing off for you guys. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned for you guys, but that all sorts of people ask me, and that is that people come here and they worry that May is lonely or depressed because she is the only orangutan here. Now, if anyone is feeling that way, you guys can all rest easy, because May is exactly with whom she wants to be, and that is herself. Orangutans are the only primates that are solitary. So even in the wild, May would be by herself. They don't travel together. The only time you will see orangutans together is if the mother has a child. A female do give birth about every 4 to 5 years in the wild. For the first year of life, that baby is 100% completely dependent upon its mother. Orangutans also enjoy very long childhood. It takes mom a long time to teach them all the things they need to know, so they stay with her for about 9 to 12 years. Now the boys, they'll leave a little bit before those girls out there, but those girls, they often stay and help mom take care of any younger siblings that come along, which of course then teaches them lots of good lessons for when they are one day a mother themselves. Now May is showing you her amazing climbing ability, but if they were actually up here swinging on these horses, I would be worried that I put way too much medicine in that smoothie. Because that is not orangutan behavior. What May is doing right now is orangutan behavior. In the wild, they will make 2 to 3 nests. You can see where May has some of her nest building material over to the right here. They will sit in those nests. They will eat. And then they will eat. And then they will eat some more. And that's basically what they do. Adult orangutans pretty much sit and eat. And so that's what May has made it her life goal to perfect. Now we are getting ready to go down and see our other great ape here at Monkey Jungle. His name is King, and he is a male western lowland gorilla. But before we go down there, does anybody have any questions? How long do orangutans live? Excellent question. Sorry I didn't mention that. At 22, May is actually a young lady. In the wild, orangutans will live 40 to 50 years. In captivity, 50 to 60. So guys, we're going to go ahead and go down to our left if you'd like to see King. Once we enter into the Cameroon jungle, you guys can go down the middle path or to the right, and Alexis and I will meet you at the other end. Bye, sweetheart. Bye, baby girl.
Well, there he is right there. Good job. What that tall sitting there?
Monkey's coming. The monkey. Brandon, where's the monkey? Brandon. Brandon. Abby. Come on, guys. You gotta look at me. Doesn't work, you guys don't look. Abby, you gotta look. Abby. Monkey's coming.
It's too big of a gorilla.
Wow, look at this guy.
Oh my God.
It's a monkey. Look at him. Looks like Grandpa, doesn't he?
That's a big grandpa.
Yeah.
His name's King. I'm going to tell you all about him in a second. Hey, King. Guys, you're welcome to stand at the fence like you are, but if you are, you can't stand here. Because then people sitting down can't see. You guys can sit down here or stand on the either side or sit on the roof. I'll just stand by you. You're going to have to stand a little bit further away from me, though, because you know what? King gets upset when people get close to me. How you doing?
That happened to me 2 years ago here with an older woman.
Tina?
I don't know. And everyone left and was drizzling and he stayed back there. He would not come after me. And as soon as everyone left, I started talking to her. He come
Charging out.
Pumping and carrying on like that. I couldn't believe it. I'm glad that move was there.
Yeah. Yep.
He was pumping.
Yep, they get very, very protected. Not many people work with them, and so it takes it's a long bonding process, but once they trust you, boy,
He didn't want me near her.
they are very protected. There's no doubt about that. Huh, King? You're kind of like my bodyguard. Well, once again, good afternoon, guys. My name is still Tracy. This is King here. King is a male western lowland gorilla. He's 38 years old. He weighs approximately 450 pounds. King stands just under 5 feet 2 inches tall, and he has the strength of 10 to 12 very, very, very strong dads. Don't you, King? Now, King is what's known as a silverback, and that means that he's a mature gorilla. Gorillas mature between the ages of 10 and 15 years old. Before that time in their life, they have black hair on their back, and they're called blackbacks. Afterwards, they develop that beautiful silver hair, hence the name sit around. Shake it up. All right. A banana. Here you go, sweetie. Oh. You're going to start calling me Aaron, aren't you? Sorry, King. Sorry, baby boy. Yep, I need you guys. Yep, sit down right here. Yep, I need everyone. No, only because then other kids also. I know it's tough. Okay, sorry, King.
You made a mistake.
Yeah, I hit him. That was not very nice. Sorry, baby boy. Well, he's okay because he's still eating the peel. Now, unlike me, who is an absolutely phenomenal catch to my non-phenomenal throwing, King here isn't. At 38, he's actually pretty old. He had me take off my hat earlier, but hopefully I can put it back on and he won't get mad. King at 38 is pretty old. Gorillas in the wild live to their early 40s if they're very lucky. In captivity, they can live up to 50. The King doesn't have a whole lot of depth perception left. And he has a hard time seeing things close up.
Now they do travel in family groups of about 5 to 15 to 20 members. You will notice that King is the only gorilla on this island. We got King 28 years ago. At the time, he was 10 years old. Late in the afternoon, King, you want to take a little nap?
There we go.
King, part of the problem is you're sitting forward more than you normally do. You're throwing me off. Ready? There we go. That was a little bit better. Yeah, didn't hit him in the head. You know what, a few months ago, guys, I had the world's largest orange in the entire world. It had to be on steroids, and I hit him right in the face. And you know what, it didn't hurt him, and he wasn't injured or anything, and he was actually really patient with me, but I felt like I just hit my dog. So, that's a traumatic experience for me. Now, King, like I said, is the older gorilla here. We got him 28 years ago. We had a male and a female here, and the male had just died. The female became very lethargic and very depressed. At one point, I was worried that we were going to lose her as well. So we knew that King was available from a circus, and we went and got him. Now, King was actually introduced to King, Missy was his gorilla, on 3 separate occasions. On every single occasion, she beat him up. Which is a nice way of saying, or a number of saying, she rejected King on all 3 occasions. After Missy passed away of old age, we then actually brought in another female gorilla, which is a feat in itself, because female gorillas are very hard to come by. 7 out of 10 gorillas born are male. Now that was when King suffered his 4th rejection. 4 rejections, exactly. There's enough in anyone's life. Now, when King was in the circus, to make him, quote, safer, they pulled his canine teeth. Those are those great big fang-like teeth in the front of the mouth, and they happen to be very, very important to gorillas. Number 1, you can't put just any 2 gorillas together. They're just like people. Secondly, it's the female that picks the mate, not the male. Now, without those teeth, King might very well have been considered inadequate because he would be unable to protect his female or any future offspring that they had. Again, without those teeth, we can't put any male gorillas here with King because he'd be unable to protect himself. So he does have this 1.5-acre island all by himself. 365 days of the year, barring any hurricanes. But no worries because he also has me 9 hours every single day. Fortunately, I'm not always hitting him like I just did. Now, if King ever gets lonely or just wants some company or a treat, or some iced tea or whatever he might want, all he has to do is go right to our left in that tunnel there. King lets me know he's back there. Sometimes when he comes back, he just wants to sit quietly and have some company. Other times he wants to be a little bit more active. King likes to dance and listen to music. Salsa and steel pan are his favorite. And sometimes King wants to be even more active. When it's a really hot day, a lot of times King and I will have a water fight. Guess who wins? He does, every single time. But his favorite pastime during the day is actually finger painting. And we do have finger paintings that King and I have done in the past in the gift shop if you want to come and look. Now, being a very urban gorilla, and one who's losing patience with me quickly, King does have his own air-conditioned night house. It also boasts its own TV and DVD set, or DVD player. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that one of King's favorite movies is indeed Planet of the Apes. The old one. The new one looks scary, and I haven't watched it yet, but the old one. But at night, when I tuck King into bed, I ask him if he wants to watch TV, and he'll shake his head yes or no. Lately, when it's been yes, he's been having me stop on the Weather Channel. Now, gorillas sleep 10 to 12 hours a night, so if he wants it on at night, I don't leave the volume up because I don't want to keep him up. But they also see the world just like us, and that means in color and 3 dimensions. With all that Doppler radar, it's probably very colorful and stimulating, so that's probably why he likes it. Up until rather recently, however, his favorite afternoon show was the Ellen DeGeneres talk show. So it goes through stages. And you guys may notice that on King's belly there, there's a great big red, raw, bloody spot. And that's because about a month and a half ago, King found some poison wood before I did. Poison wood is a lot like poison ivy, and it's very itchy. Every morning, I give King an Alivert to take care of the itching from the inside. Then he has to sit very still as I rub some stuff on his belly to take care of the itching from the outside. It is very hard for King to do this because he's ticklish. Aren't you, sweet boy? I'm almost done, King, so you want to do a little grand finale for these folks? Yeah? She says, no, I just want food. How about walking like a man, King? Can you do that? Up! Walk like a man! Turn around and walk back! Good boy! Are you ready? This is not the right spot for me to throw, King. Can't be changing this up on me.
Randy, come here.
That almost looks like I planned it, huh? Now, you see that great big bump on King's head? It's called a sagittal crest. It's much more pronounced in the males than the females. It's actually the site of attachment for those great big canine teeth that I was telling you about. And partially because of those great big canines, lots of people think that apes, especially gorillas, are mean, ferocious, flesh-tearing animals. And in fact, they are not. They are very private, they are very protective of their families, but they don't want to fight with anybody, which is why they're called the gentle giants. As a matter of fact, gorillas are the only primate that's actually 100% vegetarian. So, he doesn't eat any meat. That does not mean that he does not have a voracious appetite to keep up that beautiful 450-pound physique of his. So, every day, King does consume between 60 and 80 pounds of fruits and vegetables. This is why you would think I would be a better throw. Now, in there, you got some green beans and sweet potatoes and carrots and all sorts of kinds of lettuce and celery that he gets. His favorite fruit is probably grapes, and his favorite vegetable is by far. Now, lots of people ask me if King climbs any of these trees out here on the island. Remember that I mentioned that he was 38 years old. I also happen to be 38 years old. I am out on this island every single morning, and I can assure each and every one of you I'm not looking for trees to climb. Now, we both know we are a little bit older. Our bones are becoming a little bit more brittle, and we prefer to stay on the ground where it's nice and safe. Now, one more quick story. And that is that before King had this beautiful island, he actually had been in a cage for pretty much all of his entire life. So it was a little bit scary for King to come out here, and it took a while for him to work into going around the island. And then when he had gotten a little bit more comfortable, he was leaning against this ficus tree right here, sleeping in a little nap, and an iguana got a bit curious. To get a closer look, that iguana came and climbed right up on King's belly. It woke him up, and he screamed like a baby. Since then, King seems to have figured out, being the very intelligent animal he is, that, you know what, he's bigger than the iguanas. So, when the mood strikes him, King will actually lure one over with his fruits and vegetables right there. When that iguana gets close enough, he picks it up and drops it in the moat. Kind of like his dirty food. Now, it doesn't hurt the iguana. They're very hardy creatures, and they're excellent swimmers, so they just climb up and do the whole thing all over again. The King also happens to be trilingual. He knows being down here in South Florida, it is very important for him to understand Spanish, and he fluently understands Spanish. Bye, King. Here, obviously, I communicate in English, but King also signs, and he does have about 15 to 20 of his own signs. They mean the same thing every single time he does them. So we've never had a problem communicating with King. This is him saying, okay, I'm done with my show. That's not hard to communicate, is it? Now, before I send you guys on, King, I didn't even go extra long. I'm exactly right on the mark. But the only way to get her to be quiet is to walk away. And I'm telling all of you that, too. If you stay there, she'll never be quiet. Does anybody have any questions about King before I send you on your way? You guys learned everything. Yep. Before he was in the circus, actually King was probably taken out of the wild at a very young age, which is a sad thing in its own right, because any baby gorilla is taken out, you have to slaughter the entire group, because an adult gorilla will not leave a baby behind. At that time, it was still a regular practice, and gorillas were taken out of the wild. He was probably taken out of Cameroon, somewhere in Africa. And he was shipped over here for a while. He was gorilla snake in Las Vegas. What? I don't know. Then he was purchased by that circus, and then we got him at 10.
What do you do when there's a hurricane?
What do we do when there's a hurricane? King has a night house with thicker cement than that, but he sleeps in every single night, and he just walks right on. Other animals. Most of our animals do have at night houses are two free-ranging populations. So our small monkeys, where we have about 170 of them, and our gobbas, about 140, they take care of themselves. They actually do a very, very good job of it. There's lots of sinkholes with this coral rock and limestone. They just climb down there.
How close do you get to King?
How close do I get to King? King is 450 pounds. Even without teeth, he's pretty strong. Even a hug can be pretty crushing. So I get very close to King, but we always work through bonds. I can hold King's hand, I can touch him, I can tickle him, I can scratch his back, I can do all sorts of things, but it is always through bonds. Heaven forbid, if something were to happen, he would be the one that would be held responsible for it. He is a wild animal. Well, guys, your next presentation, if you're interested, is at 4 o'clock, and that's...
Here's the thing. No. They editor?
Oh my gosh. I did look at this again. I did
Oh, Liverpool. Where's the monkey? It's Grandpa. Grandpa.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Monkey Jungle, Amazon Rainforest. My name is Chelsea, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about these monkeys and this rainforest around you. So if you have any questions when the presentation is finished, I will be happy to answer them for you. Well, before 1992, if you were to look up toward the sky, you would have not been able to see it. Because of the dense canopy of vine growth, it would have been very dark, cool, and moist back here. Much of the vegetation that you can see on the ground now did not exist in our old rainforest because the sun could not reach the ground as well as it does now, so only the hardiest of plants could survive. We even had our own weather system here, which is similar to that which you would find in the South American rainforest. And because of the humidity and moisture that condensed above the canopy, and the fact that some of the lower lying clouds are across the taller trees, it would rain somewhat consistently almost every day here, maintaining the environment a richer rainforest. It was one of the only semi-natural tropical rainforests in North America. However, in 1992, Hurricane Andrew made landfall and it devastated the park. We lost 100% of our canopy and 80% of our overall vegetation. Now there are 3 different species of monkeys in our rainforest. The large red ones, like the one in this picture, are called red howler monkeys. And I don't see any. The big brown ones, like the one in that tree right there, and the one in this picture, are called black-capped monkeys. And the little yellow and gray monkeys that you see everywhere else, those are the squirrel monkeys. Well, we currently have 3 red howler monkeys, and they get their name howlers because of their territorial vocalizations, which can be heard for up to over several miles away. They are the second loudest animal on the planet. First comes the blue whale, and then comes them. Well, if they were here and you were to look at their tails, you would notice that they'll be able to hang their bodies down from the branches by their tails. The type of tail that they have is called a prehensile tail, and they could use it as a Vic's leg. It allows them to reach down, to reach the fruits of the smaller branches that are inaccessible or otherwise too small to climb out on. The capuchins have the same types of tails as the howlers, and baby squirrel monkeys have semi-prehensile tails, but they lose that ability of their tails as they age. The tails of older squirrel monkeys serve the purpose of balancing as they jump through the trees. Now we have 5 black-capped capuchins, and these are the monkeys that were previously used as organ grinder monkeys. And you can also see them in movies such as Ace Ventura, George of the Jungle, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And this is because capuchins are considered to be the smartest of all the New World monkeys. They are even being used in programs to help quadriplegics and paraplegics. They are trained to do things that their owners are not able to do themselves. Things like turn on and off lights, radios, and televisions. Get clothes and shoes and help to dress their owners. Collect the bed sheets, help feed their owners. Turn pages of books, and put books back on the bookshelf. Now in the wild, capuchins, howlers, and squirrel monkeys all live in the same rainforest. But in the true rainforest, the howlers mainly occupy the upper levels of the canopy above 60 feet, whereas capuchins and squirrel monkeys primarily occupy the mid and lower levels of the forest. Now these squirrel monkeys are the whole reason that this rainforest exists. And Frank Dumont brought these squirrel monkeys here. 1955. And once he had a population established, he noticed that he was able to do something at the time that no other youth or facilities were able to do, and that was to breed them. Other zoos and facilities will put several males and females all in the same small cage and expect them to reproduce, and they would not. And what brings them unrealized is that these squirrel monkeys remain in same-sex groups throughout the year. The males stay with the males and the females stay with the females. Also, females are the dominant sex, not the males. So they will come together at the feeding stations, but once they leave, will be back to their same-sex groups. And for about 8 to 9 months of the year, if a male tries to approach a female, the chances are that he'll be chased off. Now the males do have one adaptation to this. During the months of November to March, which is their breeding season, the males go through a process called fatting. And during this time, they have a huge surge in the level of their hormones, which causes them to gain about 20% of their normal body size and weight. So pretty much they look like little bodybuilders. And this does the main thing to the males. First, it makes them virtually irresistible to the females. Second, because of the increased level of the hormones, it makes them more aggressive. And third, it makes them look a little bit bigger so that they can withstand the good feeding from a female who does not wish to associate with him. And once the breeding season is over, the male will shrink back to his original size. Now if you look at the feeding station, you can see that each day they get a healthy amount of fresh fruits and vegetables. And with about 150 monkeys in this rainforest, you may wonder why all of the food isn't gone. Well, that's because fruits and vegetables only compromise between 20 to 40% of the diet of squirrel monkeys and capuchins. Both are omnivorous, largely eating various insects, lizards, spiders, and other small animal prey. So what they get during the shows is only a small part of their daily food intake. The rest they find on their own as they would in the wild, under leaves, and on trees and other plants. Well, this concludes the presentation here on Monkey Jungle's Amazon Rainforest. Does anyone have any questions? No, we don't go in there too. They're wild, so we can't touch them or anything. They'll jump on us when we bring the food and stuff, but as far as that, nothing else.
Do you ever see the howler monkeys?
Yeah, they come out occasionally, but I guess they're sleeping. Well, they sleep throughout most of the day because they eat leaves, and leaves are hard to digest. So they'll come out occasionally, but sometimes they don't.
You're not afraid of them? I mean, behind here is like a jungle, right?
Yeah.
You're not afraid of them running away?
No, we have a perimeter fence around it. Yeah, and it has like an electrical wire at the top. But it's only like 6 feet high, the fence. So I mean, if they wanted to jump over, they could. But since they're all very territorial, they don't, and they stay here and they have like all the food and stuff they need here. There's one cat in here, but it's supposed to be in here to keep away the mice and the rats. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I'd like to take this chance to thank you all for coming out today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here in Monkey Jungle.
When do they breed?
November to March.
What is one when you look at it here, they should have not been humans. still want to pick it all around and eat it.
No, you're black check that you can do.
Alright. See this thing. So we got 3 around for
You only give them so much time to eat?
Huh?
You only give them so much time to eat?
Well, it's for the shows, because they don't eat most of the food anyways, because they have a bunch of vegetation and stuff growing around the 5 acres that they have.
you mean you're gonna...
We did that. We did that.
Did you see that?
We did that.
We've been there, I think. Oh, you didn't look at the pecan.
Oh man, look at him in there. Climbed up the tree.
It's something else.
She's not shy. You're not shy. I guess you're getting used to it after a while, right?
Yeah, at first, to talk in front of a lot of people, especially when sometimes during the weekends it gets really crowded, like all of this.
Absolutely.
There's no seats. Like at first it was really
I mean,
hard
that's
for me to do.
overwhelming for a 19-year-old. I don't want to tell you what I was doing at 19 years old.
No, Jimmy, don't tell her.
So I mean, this is pretty good for you.
Yeah.
And it's definitely overwhelming speaking. You know, all these eyes are looking at you.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Daddy, Mimi.
What do they eat? Bananas?
They eat a lot of different kinds of fruits.
And fruits.
Yeah.
And eggs too?
Yeah.
They like eggs?
Vegetables. Stuff like that.
Do
Yeah,
they really?
they really like eggs.
I never knew that. Yeah. They eat the whole egg or just the...
Yeah, well, they take the shell off
Yeah.
and they eat the inside.
Okay, so it's the yolk and everything then? The yolk?
Well, sometimes we boil it and sometimes we don't.
Right.
And so I guess they'll just suck out everything.
Oh, what a word.
Because when you think of monkey, you always think of bananas. You never think of eggs.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They like to eat eggs and bugs.
And bugs too? Really?
Different insects. Vegetables.
And a lot of vegetables too, I guess, right? You know it's feeding.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Monkey Jungle's Wild Monkey Swimming Pool. My name is Chelsea, and at this time I'm going to go ahead and ring this triangle to let the monkeys know that I will be tossing fruit for them. Just to let you know, the reason why we ring this bell is because we have about 140 of these monkeys, and they're all spread out over 7 acres. These monkeys are not tamed or trained in any way, and we have no control over who shows up. So just give me a second to ring the bell, and I'll see if any monkeys want to come and eat.
How do the monkeys want to eat?
Lunchtime.
Well, the kind of monkeys that you see in front of you is what we call a Java macaque, or a crabby macaque. The first name they get, Java macaque, is given to them because of where they originate, which is an island in Southeast Asia known as the island of Java. The second name they get, crabby macaque, is given to them due to the fact that in the wild, their natural diet includes crabs and shrimp. One other interesting fact about these monkeys is that they swim. Now, although all monkeys are able to swim, few monkeys actually seem to enjoy it the way these guys do. But, since shrimp and crab are frequently found underwater, Javas in the wild have to swim to get their food. But in this group, it's usually the juveniles who do most of the swimming because they enjoy playing in the water. The older macaques are either too lazy to work for their food, or they just don't want to get wet. Well, these macaques were brought here in 1933 by Joseph Duman. He wanted to study primate behavior here in a semi-natural environment, rather than 1933.
33?
Yes.
Really?
He wanted to study primate behavior here in a semi-natural environment, rather than having to travel to work in Southeast Asia. So, he imported 6 of these macaques from their native environment. As I mentioned earlier, we have about 140 of these Javas within this 7-acre compound, and all of them are the descendants of the original 6, which were released here more than 70 years ago. And what Joseph wanted to study specifically was the social structure of the Java macaques. It is based on what is called the dominance hierarchy, or a pecking order. What that means is that there is a monkey number 1, and he is the leader and most dominant animal in the group. And under monkey number 1 is a monkey number 2, and under monkey number 2 is the less dominant but still important monkey number 3, and so on.
How do you identify monkey number 1?
Well, I guess just from looking at them so much I can identify different characteristics. No, I can. He's sitting right there at the top of the log, yeah.
That's monkey 1?
Yeah, his name is Casper.
So he's pretty much the king.
Yeah, of this group.
Of this group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, as leader, Casper has certain responsibilities to the group. It is his job to maintain the ranking system and social order within the group. This means if there is a fight that escalates to a very serious level, it is his job to break it up or end it. Also, if there is a lower ranking animal that steps out of line, it is his job to put him back in line. He also leads the troop against any outside aggressors, which could be monkeys from other groups as well as predators. Being leader also has its rewards. As leader, you get the first choice of food, the first choice of place to sleep, sit, and walk, and the first choice of females.
How did you come up out of the what? Do you like him?
No. Well, to become the monkey number 1, he either has to kind of be born high rank, and then either he defeats he fights for the number 1 position with the current one, or that he just moves up by getting respect.
Unbelievable. That's really cool. And you call him Casper?
Yeah, his name is Casper. Oh, it's okay.
Man, be careful. You hear that? Is that unbelievable? Or do you actually speak to the number 1 up?
Well, frequently people ask me, how does a monkey get its rank? And why is Casper the leader? Well, there are 2 main factors involved. One is their maternal association, or who their mother is. What that means is that if they're the offspring of a high-ranking female, then they're going to be a high-ranking monkey. And if they're the offspring of a low-ranking female, then they're going to be a low-ranking monkey. The second factor that determines their rank is their political alliances, who their friends are and how many they have. Now their rank can change in one of 2 ways. First, when males are young, they roughhouse or wrestle around, similar to how many children do. And this is when they make or break most of their friendships. But as males get older, if they want more access to food or females, they will have to earn that privilege, either by winning the respect of higher troop members or by fighting for it. This is where their friends come in. If you are a lower ranking male, and you could somehow manage to defeat a higher ranking male, you can move up in rank. You can defeat another male by having the most of the following 2 qualities. You have to have great physical strength, you have to have the support of male troop members, and you need to have the acceptance of the females. When a male moves up in rank, you commonly see the social status of his mother improve as well. Any offspring that she has from that point on will also be of that higher rank. But any offspring that she had before she moved up her rank will remain whatever status they were initially born into. The second way that their rank can change is if another male ever overthrows their alpha male. They will then have to assume a subordinate position, not only to the new male, but also to any monkeys he brings with him. Now frequently, you can see the Javas doing their behavior called grooming. And what they're actually looking for are not parasites such as fleas and ticks. However, if they do find a parasite, they will gladly pick it off and eat it. But in general, they are very clean animals and almost free of ectoparasites. And what they're actually looking for are tiny little particles of dandruff. When these monkeys perspire, salt from their sweat is absorbed into the dandruff particles, and it serves as a salty little snack for them. More importantly though, grooming strengthens the bonds between these animals. The lifespan of a Java macaque is 20 to 25 years, with males maturing between the ages of 5 and 8, and females much earlier between the ages of 3 and 5. And once mature, a female may have 6 to 8 infants throughout her lifetime. Now the females give birth to only 1 infant, usually during the months of May through September, after a gestation period of about 6 months. The newborns are easily recognized because of their black fur and pink skin. and this coloring is called the natal code and has special significance in the dominant hierarchy. Newborn offspring and their mothers are the most privileged and protected members within the group. This means that at this time, they're an exception to the ranking system. As long as the mother carries the baby with the natal code, she'll be allowed to sit, socialize, groom, and feed with the higher-ranking females. This allows low-ranking females the access to better foods at a time when nutrition is essential. After about 6 months of age, you will see a complete disappearance of the natal code, which has gradually disappeared after birth. As soon as the other members of the troop detect the change in the infant's coat color, both mother and infant will lose their special status, and the infant will assume the social status of the mother. Java infants will nurse for up to about 9 months. However, after the mother loses the special feeding privileges, she will wean her baby onto more solid foods, such as fruits and bugs. Well, this concludes the presentation here at the Wild Monkey Swimming Pool. Does anyone have any questions?
Do you ever find the monkeys in this area?
No, they never come to this area because there's an electrical wire at the top right here and at the bottom.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
They really rarely come to.
Yeah, no.
They can't.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Yeah, the monkeys swim, but right now, since I guess it's a little bit cold, they're more hesitant about going in the water.
they give birth, you said, it takes 6 months to give birth?
Yeah, about 6 months. No, the fish don't bother them.
They don't bother fish.
Be careful with them, okay? It's very heavy. It's very heavy. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to take this chance to thank you all for coming out today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at Monkey Jungle.
Okay.